flickering light. Pages turn, but not my mind. Everyone's gone, I'm still here, talking to shadows they don't hear. I whisper dreams into the air, hoping someone somewhere cares. When no one is listening, I sing the songs I hide within, the words I never dared to say. They flow like stars, then drift away. When no one is listening, I become who I've always been. Memories hum like lullabies, 1,000 questions, no replies. The silence wraps me like a friend who never speaks but understands. I write my truth on empty skies, where no one laughs and no one lies. When no one is listening, I sing the songs I hide within, the fears I never let them see. They fall like leaves so quietly. When no one is listening, I become who I long to be. Maybe the moon hears every line. Maybe the dark was always mine. When no one is listening, my voice is soft, but it still sings. I find a piece I thought was gone and stitch it back where I belong. When no one is listening, I'm not afraid of being me. The lights are low, the room is still. Her phone screen starts to glow. Another sleepless evening with a song she used to know. She plays the chords so carefully, like secrets wrapped in sound. And every note she doesn't sing still pulls the silence down. These are the songs she plays at 2 a.m. when no one's asking why. When the tears don't fall in daylight, but still need space to cry. She skips the ones with happy ends and keeps the minor key. Songs she plays at 2 a.m. feel more like honesty. The world forgets to check on her, but she's too proud to say. So she lets melodies unravel what words would push away. Her headphones hold the verses she never dared to write. They say what she is thinking when she turns out all the lights. These are the songs she plays at 2 a.m. like letters to the dark, where memories hum quietly but still can leave a mark. She's not sure what she's healing, but knows she's not the same. Songs she plays at 2 a.m. still whispers someone's name. just a place to feel it slow. Not fixing, just existing in a sound the heart might know. These are the songs she plays at 2 a.m., her truest kind of prayer. A moment just for being when no one else is there. So let the night keep playing what daylight can't defend. The songs she plays at 2 a.m. are where her pieces mend. The door clicks shut without a sound. The walls don't ask, they just allow. She sinks into the corner light, like she's not really here right now. The clock still ticks, the window hums, the world outside goes on. But in this room time lingers, where everything feels gone. Soft tears in quiet rooms, don't scream, don't stain, don't show. They fall like gentle warnings from a heart that's learned to go. They don't need explanations or someone else to see. Soft tears in quiet rooms just mean she's still trying to be. She folds her fears like laundry and places them away. But one escapes and suddenly her hands forget what to say. A memory in the ceiling, a name she never speaks. They visit her in silence and stay for several weeks. Soft tears in quiet rooms, don't beg or plead or fight. They settle in the spaces between the wrong and right. No thunder in her breathing, no sobbing in the dark. Just soft tears in quiet rooms, like brushstrokes on her heart. Not every pain is loud enough to echo through the air. Some just bloom in silence and stay folded in her care. Soft tears in quiet rooms where no one says her name, but still the walls remember the love, the loss, the shame. She lets them fall without defense, like stars she couldn't keep. Soft tears in quiet rooms are how she learns to sleep. She cries when flowers wilt too soon and smiles at strangers on the train. She writes her thoughts on paper scraps, then hides them from the rain. A song can break her bone, a glance can make her day. She loves like it's forever, even when they walk away. She's the girl who feels too much, and yes, it tears her skin, but there's beauty in her breaking, where the light keeps shining in. So don't ask her to be quiet or to feel a little less. She's the girl who feels too much, and this world needs her tenderness. The lights are off, the air is still, but my chest is. Every echo from the hallway feels like something about to break. Your cup is still on the table, your jacket's on the chair. I sit and count the heartbeats shadows where your ghost is always found. Some loves are like a whisper, too tender to survive, but mine still lives in every silent night I'm alive. She walks through crowded sidewalks like she's moving under glass. People talk, the world keeps spinning, but she's somewhere in the past. Eyes on stars behind the daylight, fingers drawing shapes in air. She forgets to check the weather, like the sky's not really there. Lost in her own world, where the colors don't fade, where the silence is kind and no one's afraid. She dances with shadows and sings to the rain. And maybe she's lonely, but she wouldn't trade the pain. She knows the names of flowers that bloom where no one sees, writes letters to the moonlight and keeps secrets in the breeze. They say she's far too quiet or too much when she's loud, but truth is she's just softer than a world that's always proud. Lost in her own world, where the stories unfold, where heartbreaks turn golden and daydreams feel bold. She colors outside, the lines say all true. She's not broken, just building something. Or say she's hard to know, but if you sat beside her, you'd feel your own heart grow. Lost in her own world, but maybe that's the way some souls survive when they can't bear to stay. So don't pull her back, just walk near and see. The world she made is where we're meant to be. She doesn't cry in public, she folds her pain in small, neat lines. Smiles when people pass her by and says she's doing fine. The city roars around her, neon dreams an endless rain. But in her chest a quiet echo, soft as hands that once held grace. A gentle lake in a loud world, like a whisper lost in storms. She carries it it like poetry stitched into her form. No one sees the weight she bears. It's silent, but it stays. A tender kind of hurting that hums through all early days. She knows how to disappear without leaving any trace. How to laugh just long enough so no one sees her face. She feels too much, but softly, like raindrops in her bones. The world demands a fire, but she was built from stone. A gentle lake in a loud world, an ocean in a cup. She fills the room with quiet when everyone's too much. They talk of love like thunder, but hers is made of snow, melting slow in silence where no one else will go. Some think strength is shouting or always standing tall, but she's strong in staying kind while carrying it all. A gentle lake in a loud world, and still she walks ahead. Each step a quiet victory for every tear she never shed. And maybe no one tells her so, but she is brave and true. A silent kind of beauty this world keeps looking through. You don't need to say it, I can see it in your eyes. The kind of way you carry doesn't shout, it sighs. You've held it in too gently for far too many days. Now it feels like breathing takes all your strength away. This is music for when you're just tired, not broken, just worn thin. When you don't want answers, just quiet tucked within. No big crescendo waiting, no chorus to outshine, just something soft to sit with you until you feel like trying. Your phone keeps buzzing, blinking. You let it ring and fade, because some nights you're surviving just by staying in one place. You make tea but don't drink it. You scroll but don't take in. You're not sad, not really, just low beneath the This is music for when you're just tired, when the noise is far too much, when people mean so kindly, but you can't take one more touch. No pep talk, no bright lighting, just dim and warm and slow. A melody that sits with you and lets the silence grow. Not every day is meant for rising. Some are made to rest, to fall apart a little and not feel like a mess. So here's music for when you're just tired. No pressure to be strong, just hum along in whispers or lie still with this song. Tomorrow might feel lighter, but tonight just let it be. You're not alone in feeling this, and that's enough for me. She puts the kettle on slow, window fog from quiet heat, rain taps like fingers on a door. She's not ready yet to meet. Her coat still smells like yesterday, her thoughts drift in between old playlists and forgotten calls and places she never been. This is a rainy day soundtrack, soft chords and shades of blue, melodies that know her well without asking what is true. No lyrics that demand too much, just echoes in the gray. A rainy day soundtrack knows what she can't say. She walks without a reason, hood up but heart exposed, each puddle like a memory she almost let go. A stranger's dog runs past her, and somehow she still smiles, the kind that fades too quickly but stays for just a while. This is her rainy day soundtrack for tears she doesn't show, the kind that fall in rhythm with clouds that move too slow. She hums along to nothing, but it still feels like a song. In the sweat and quiet weather, she finally feels like she belongs. No thunder, no lightning, just steady, honest gray, like the world took off its makeup and let the sorrow stay. This is her rainy day soundtrack, the one she always keeps, for walking through the silence and crying in her sleep. Don't try to turn it brighter, don't skip to something new. This rain is where she breathes again, this music pulls her through. Today felt like a whisper, like the sky forgot to shine. I made coffee, let it sit, and told the world I'm fine. The mirror didn't argue, it just stared and stayed, and I kept breathing softly like it's how I'm not afraid. Sad, soft, and a little hopeful, like a candle in the rain. Not bright enough to change the dark, but still it stays the same. No fireworks, no saving light, just one small glowing truth. Sometimes just surviving is the bravest thing we do. I scrolled through old messages with names I used to know, and wondered if they'd notice if I let the silence grow. But then I saw a bird land on a branch about to break, and something in that moment taught my chest how not to ache. Sad, soft, and a little hopeful, like a note left by the door, just saying I was here today, and maybe less is more. No grand design, no perfect line, just warmth behind the blue. A quiet kind of healing that looks a lot like you. The world won't always listen, and some days feel too long. But even cracked hearts echo when they find a gentle song. Sad, soft, and a little hopeful, and maybe that's enough to keep the tears from drowning us, or make the silence tough. We're not all made for shining, but still we glow inside, and soft can still be strong enough to carry us through night. She sits with you in silence when words begin to shake. She doesn't rush to fix it, she just lets your heart break. Her hands don't offer answers, Her eyes don't turn away. She holds the space so gently that the pain forgets to stay. She doesn't cry, she listens, like the ocean hears the shore. She carries every story, but you never see the war. No tears upon her pillow, no cracks you'd ever find. She doesn't cry, she listens, and leaves her own behind. She knows where people tremble. She reads between each line. The world just calls it kindness, but there's more she hides inside. She's tired but stays open, though no one ever sees that every tale she cradles becomes a quiet plea. She doesn't cry, she listens to the things you can't explain. She makes it feel like breathing in the middle of your rain. She nods like it's not heavy, though it sinks into her skin. She doesn't cry, she listens and folds your hurt within. Maybe one day someone will hear her without sound, will stay to feel her silence and not just break it down. She doesn't cry, she listens, but her heart still softly sways, like wind that bends the willow without asking it to stay. She's stronger than you notice, but tender through and through. She doesn't cry, she listens, and that's how she gets through. She wakes up with the sunrise, no voices in the air, makes coffee for just one cup, but there's peace in being there. She hums a tune she made up as sunlight hits the floor. No rush, no missed connection, just quiet she adores. Alone but not lonely, she's not waiting to be seen. Her world is soft and sacred, not empty, just serene. They think she must be aching, but she's more than doing fine. Alone but not lonely, and that life feels by design. She walks beneath the maple trees with no one by her side, but every step is honest and nothing needs to hide. She laughs at her own story hearts bloom in silence, some grow without a crowd. She's not afraid of stillness, she wears it like a shroud. Alone but not lonely, and the stars all know her name. She doesn't chase the echoes or play the chasing game. Her joy is in the quiet, where her spirit gets to roam. Alone but not lonely, 'cause she's already home. She doesn't speak in thunder, her love comes soft and slow, like letters never mailed, or songs the wind might know. She watches more than answers, and holds the world with care. You won't hear her confess it, but her heart beats always there. Echo of a quiet heart, ring where no one sees, in glances left unspoken, and touch that rides the breeze. Not loud enough to shake the earth, but steady as the stars. Echoes of a quiet heart still reach the ones afar. She's not the storm that crashes, she's the calm that stays behind. A shadow in your memory, a name you can't rewind. Her silence isn't empty, it's full of all she's felt, like prayers that go unanswered. Believe your anger now. Echoes of a quiet heart, they whisper in the dark. In moments you remember, when something left a mark. You might forget her laughter, but not the way she stayed. Echoes of a quiet heart don't ever fade away. Some hearts don't need an audience to prove what they contain. They simply keep on beating through every joy and pain. Echoes of a quiet heart live where no eyes roam. In stillness she's a presence, in silence she's a home. And though you never heard her cry, her love was loud in part. You'll always hear the echoes of her quiet, fearless heart. She doesn't speak her wishes loud, no candles, no parade. Her dreams are stitched in notebooks, in ink that tends to fade. She walks beneath the daylight like like shadows follow close, but in her eyes 1,000 skies. The world will never know. For the girl who dreams in silence, who builds her stars at night, who never asks for center stage, but still becomes the light. They may not hear her hoping or see her secret fight, but she's the kind of quiet that teaches dark to write. She hums to songs she's never shared, draws maps she'll never show, but every line she carves alone is someplace real to go. She loves like early morning before the world begins, and every small unspoken thing she gathers deep within. For the girl who dreams in silence, with courage soft and rare, who doesn't chase the loud applause, but still is always there. Her hope's a gentle promise she whispers to the sky, and though she walks in silence, her dream still learns to lie. Not all dreams come with thunder, not all wings need the wind. Some grow in quiet corners where tenderness begins. For the girl who dreams in silence, this song is just for you. Your quiet is a symphony the world still sings into. So keep the stars you carry, don't trade them just to shine. You're not behind the story, you are its hidden spine. She walks through autumn mornings with teardrops in her smile. The world thinks she's just quiet, but she's been grieving for a while. She folds her coat a little tighter, drinks her tea before it cools, and lets the wind remind her of things they never taught in school. Melancholy with a hint of grace, like rain that doesn't pour, a sadness that softened by the love she had before. She doesn't break, she bends like light through windows cracked and old. Melancholy with a hint of grace is how her story's told. Her books are worn from holding her thoughts between the lines. She speaks in quiet glances, forgives before she finds. She's known the weight of silence, the ache of letting go, but carries all her losses like petals in the snow. Melancholy with a hint of grace, a beauty slow and deep. She doesn't cry for sympathy, she just lets the silence keep the names, the dates, the laughter, all folded into lace. Melancholy with a hint of grace, wrapped in gentle space. Some hearts don't shine with fire, but glow in muted tones, and hers has learned that sorrow can build the strongest bond. I said I'd be fine by 20, but 20 came and went with unanswered questions and dreams that came half bent. I tried to laugh it off when nothing felt quite right, but growing's not a straight line, it's crying late at night. This is the soundtrack for growing pains, for shoes that never fit, for texts you didn't send back and chances you let slip. It's messy and it's honest, a little sharp, a little slow, but it's the kind of music that helps you learn and grow. They said you'll figure it out, but no one said how long. So I patched my heart with playlists and learned from the wrong songs. I kept pretending calm while feeling all the weight, and found that letting go is just another kind of break. This is the soundtrack for growing pains, for friends that drift away, for all the awkward silence when you don't know what to say, for dreams that change their colors and plans that came undone, but somehow in the breaking you find where soundtrack for growing pains. It's tender or untrue. It hurts in ways you don't expect, but still it carries you. You won't replay it every day, but when you do, you'll see this soundtrack made you softer and more of who you're meant to be. The room was quiet but full of sound. Your fingers twitched, then settled down. 1,000 words beneath your breath, but none of them have left. The coffee cooled, the moment passed. We smiled like we could make it last, but silence builds like winter air and lingers everywhere. It's the weight of unspoken things, the pause before goodbye, the way your eyes look distant when you say that you're just fine. We never lit the fire, but somehow still got burned. Some stories never said aloud are the ones we never unlearn. I almost told you everything, but stopped it. How was your day? You nodded like you heard it all, then slowly looked away. The truth hung heavy in the light, like rain that never falls. We danced around the real things till there wasn't much at all. It's the weight of unspoken things, the echo in between, the laugh that hides a question, the love we left unseen. We folded all our feelings into paper thin goodnights, but even silence speaks when we turn off all the lights. Some words are made of glass, too sharp to hold out loud. So we wear them like a second skin and never say them proud. It's the weight of unspoken things that bends us without break. No fights, no final letters, just ache we never shake. But somewhere in the stillness, our meaning still remains. The weight of unspoken things is love we never claim. I dream of names I've never heard and faces made of mist. They show up in the silence like something I once missed. A laugh that feels familiar, a shadow in the rain. They disappear by morning, but the longing still remains. This is music for missing people you never met, for hearts that echo strangers, for ghosts that never left. You can't recall the moment, but you swear they were around. A feeling, not a memory, that never quite dies down. I walk through crowded places and feel a sudden ache, like someone should have known me, but it's just a twist of fate. I hum a tune that comforts, but don't know where it's from. Maybe it was theirs once, before their time was done. This is music for missing people you never met, for letters never written and hands you never kept. They live in old piano keys and in songs without an end. They're strangers in your bloodstream, still waiting to be friends. Some souls are made of echoes and some of distant sky. You don't need to touch someone to feel them in your life. This is music for missing people you never met, for all the quiet connections the heart won't just forget. No need for explanations, some longings just exist. This music's here to hold them in case they still persist. She didn't raise her voice, didn't beg him not to go, just stared out through the window as the evening lost its glow. No tears fell on her cheek, no shaking in her hands, but something in the quiet was louder than demands. Her silence says everything what words could never hold. 1,000 broken questions left hanging in the cold. She never needed volume to make the moment sting. Silence says everything. She still sets one more plate, still folds his favorite shirt, acts like she's forgotten, but her stillness knows the hurt. She smiles when someone asks, but doesn't tell the truth, because silence is the armor she's carried since her youth. Her silence says everything, each pause a piece of pain. She builds whole conversations, then locks them up again. You'll never hear her heart break, but you'll feel the echo ring. Her silence says everything without confessing a thing. You thought she didn't feel it, but she felt it far too much. She just learned to hide it where no one dares to touch. Her silence says everything, like thunder held inside, a love that left too quietly, a loss she doesn't fight. And when the world forgets her and no one hears her sing, just know her silence says everything. She made it out of bed today, that's more than yesterday. Brushed her hair, tied her shoes, and stepped into the gray. She smiled at the cashier, though it didn't reach her eyes. But sometimes even trying is enough to feel alive. She's not okay, but this helps. This song, this light, this hair, a cup of tea, a quiet street, someone simply there. She's still a little heavy, but not as much as before. She's not okay, but this helps, and maybe that's what healing's for. Scrolls through old reminders, the ones she meant to hide. A memory hits too sharply, but she breathes and lets it slide. She writes a text, then deletes it, not ready to explain. But holding back the flood doesn't mean she feels no rain. She's not okay, but this helps. This silence, this small song, the way the sky turns silver before it moves along. No miracles or answers, just softness in the noise. She's not okay, but this helps, and that's that's its quiet choice. Not every wound is bleeding, not every scar is shown, but even in the hurting, she's never all alone. She's not okay, but this helps, and help can look like this, like humming through the heartache, or moments she won't miss. So here's to all the small things that hold her when she melts. She's not okay, but this helps, and sometimes that's what